but just one more 79. Come on, or 49, or which SP are you now? You're that SCP. Okay, well that's its own SCP, really, honestly. In here, what's the trick?
National security
Again,
analyst
be an IMA magnet. Pick everything up made out of metal and put it back in the ranks. The L bracket, Dom bracket, the xylophone.
If not a cakewalk, a lot easier than it's turned out to be. Do you think there's any way he's looking to back out of this, or is he going to double down with?
Well, you go to the captured soldiers. You go, well, what's the end game for the soldiers here? All of them.
I don't think that Putin
Bury them
is
all.
anywhere near considering backing down.
Unless you haven't won. What's the end game here to ship off the Ukrainians, the National Guard system? You back in my court anyway.
Ukrainians have been valiant. The military has been fighting hard, fighting well. The Ukrainian people deserve enormous credit for their resolve and unity. Zelensky obviously deserves enormous credit for uniting his country and motivating them and staying there. He said he didn't need a lift out of Ukraine. He needed ammo from the United States and our allies.
But unfortunately, the
Russians have not brought to bear the full potential of what they have deployed.
And that comes with the case if you have the drug addict on the Law and Order, dual diagnosis,
there was a city that they shelled earlier today. The particular weapons they use, David, are meant
or whoever he's playing today at
civilians, or they're at least meant to not care about civilians.
Somebody's in the office telling you, like, you're going to cancel your vacation, no more basketball games, football games, you got war on the table. Just got good at Legend Clash or whatever it is. Hero
Raid. Oligarchs that have surrounded him these many years, but also with some people in his own administration.
And again, that becomes our troop methodology when we go to train anybody's index, because even if it was the D12 in Russian, there starts with a local topology of, they have their own, I'll get used to that, and then there's the same system of the frame rate, who it is, adjusted for some local spin about, they're actually baiting the cousin's family, whatever. Inside of there,
that's going to be what changes his mind. I think it's going to have to be the United States and our allies that finally make Putin stop. We have to raise the costs.
Homogenize that, deal with cops that shot somebody in an area where it got lively to switch off somewhere else, or put the guard that got Big Black and got a little crazy that day. I don't care what she was doing in the pre-log or what. The helicopter was overhead, you pulled out the 9mm instead of the taser and you had the taser shot. They were like, oh no, that's taser, and they shot you. It's like, well, you get to be at best kind of like a prison guard. Handing out lunch for a little while until you work your way up to the ranks, and they can't handle nothing better in the region, or we can't displace it because of the heat and the local transposition of the college, prison, what prisoners are doing in the car factory, figuring out all the numbers. You're going to say, well, our best. Jocko and boys out there, they're going to talk about, well, they got a slave class, and they treat their laborers like, welcome to the mill. Morning. How you doing today? Out here we're having a hang-in.
Forward-leaning the Europeans were
of course, the movie satire, right? Because you got Pennywise, I can't remember her name, whatever. She winds up getting bit by a snake, but she's a survivor. You can tell she got that horse contract figured out.
Too afraid of their own shadow of escalating this situation. And if we don't actually ramp it up,
at that point in time, there's that moment on the plantation, you realize somebody got me on glass right now.
The other thing, David, that's important, in addition to sanctions, we have got to get more weapons that the Ukrainians need into them as quickly as possible.
Office hours all the time
the
to the
Latvians
question.
and Lithuanians were ahead of us on deploying Javelin weapons. Those are Stingers, those are the air defense systems. We just now approved those. So the United States has got to lead. We've got to lead, David.
Very quickly, and it
again, when I get 6,000 out there, the Russian cows are not for the soft team. You wouldn't blink, would you? It would just be a chain of rounds. You're doing the same way, different, just like what in this building, that building,
I mean, he's been a murderer. We know he's been a murderous character for years. His speech a couple of days ago, people said it was different from the past speeches, but in fact he's been talking about taking over not only Ukraine, but the Baltics as a part of Russia for at least since last summer, if not before then. So do you buy into any of this?
Right now, because you're not wrong about Umbrella Corporation coming around in the T-virus system causing the apocalypse and the simulation.
I think that he's behaving rationally based on his own national goals. He's ruthless. He does not share the same values as the United States, obviously.
What happened to SGP?
And I think that he doesn't care about civilian casualties, the things that we care about so much. And so I think the only way he's going to stop is if the United States and our allies make him stop. And unfortunately, again, like I said, I don't think that we're anywhere near that. I think that the worst is still ahead of us.
And that's the adjustment. And how far out, how hard you got to hit the plate. The price rate index there, radian squared, the diameter of the cylinder.